reserves the right to disconnect any caller who infringes the law or offends the right of any person. The station will also refuse to take any call from any person who, in WinFM's considered opinion, is likely to expose the station to liability for statements made on the air.
Welcome to Island Tea with your faves. Keep it locked in with us for your daily dose of hot tea, only on Win Media 98.9.
Hey guys, good morning. Welcome to Island Tea right here on Win Media SKN. It is Hump Day, December 7th, Jade. We're actually a week into December. Just like that. And guys, I'm looking forward to today's show. Okay. I'm looking forward to today's show. And you're here with your faves, me and Azem. Mm-hmm. And Jade, Gwenny, CPL Mathis, Stuart Johnson is also here.
I am.
Jade, how are you doing?
I'm here.
Feeling Christmas spirit, Jade?
No.
Okay. And alright.
Kind of question there.
I'm feeling you.
You thought I was feeling you?
Jade, don't bring back those feelings, Jade.
Sorry, my bad.
Oh boy. What does one do after one is called a munch?
I have no advice for you, friend.
No, boy.
I'm usually one full of wisdom, but today?
But I asked Jade, I said, if you're called a munch, is that a term of endearment? I don't know the young people terms.
Not.
Jade said me it's not.
It is really not.
Not saying I was called one, but
oh.
I mean someone who was.
If somebody was called a munch, they're all right.
You think so? It didn't seem that way.
That'd be all right.
It seemed like they had to sit for a while and really ponder life.
We all
and
should.
And the decisions they were making.
We all should.
Wow. That's crazy. How was your day yesterday?
It was filled with work.
Wow.
Yeah.
No, that seems to be a common theme.
It is. This adult life we're living. Yeah.
I went to the tent last night.
Oh, I didn't even realize you had tent last night.
Yeah, I had tent up.
Was it good?
Yeah, it was good.
Okay. Happy to hear that.
Yeah, nice little quote came out. Calypso lovers,
Mm-hmm.
fan wide of all ages were there.
By the way, guys, if you're driving on the Bay Road, don't, because there's an accident.
Yes, there's an accident on the Bay Road that is totally slowing up traffic.
Yeah, so just don't. Just avoid down there. But yes, tent. Which tent was it?
Proud Sounds.
Okay.
It was Proud Sounds. And yeah, you got some heavy hitters there.
I expect so.
And the usual suspects. The usual suspects are back out. Yeah, so it should be interesting. Remember, Calypso Eliminations is this weekend actually.
Okay, that's vibes. Yeah, I'll go out and support that.
Saturday and Sunday. So
Yeah,
yeah.
vibes. Right, you want to talk about election? And not ours, for once.
Wow. Any other election other than ours I could speak about.
Yes. So remember we was talking about Dominica's election yesterday?
Oh, that's what that was?
Yeah, well, some things are in.
I thought it was just a big Skerrit party.
It might have been. It honestly might have been.
But the Labour Party take like song there. Skerrit with no seat and Dominica has a change of government. That's not what happened?
Propaganda. That is propaganda, friend. Because according to the report,
I was mistaken? What?
very much so too, Labour actually won the election 19-2.
Yo, this thing is interesting, yo.
And PM Skerrit says he accepts the wish of the people.
Of course.
Why wouldn't he?
Of course.
Yes. So the preliminary results, of the snap is a understatement, 2020 general election called in Dominica by Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit show a 19-2 win for the incumbent Dominica Labour Party. Yeah, after the November 18, 2028 nomination day, the DLP had copped 6 seats from the 21 constituencies and were left to contest 15 in the December 16 polls. Results from the December 6 polls, 6th polls from these 15 constituencies contested gave the DLP 13 seats, with the independent candidates of Salisbury and Marigot, stronghold of the opposition United Workers' Party, that boycotted the polls, winning. Vibes. In his first official comments, Prime Minister Skerrit says, "I have accepted the results. It's the will of and the wish of the people."
Those are some easy results to accept.
I mean,
Quite acceptable.
Quite. He also said that he will be seeking to engage both independent candidates and also the new leader of the UWP, Dr. Fontaine, to chat the way forward. I think that's supposed to be chat. Yeah. Well.
Hey, congratulations.
Yeah.
To Skerrit and the Labour Party in Dominica.
A very difficult election.
Yo.
It was so close.
Caribbean politics is wild, man.
Super close, as in couldn't even tell who was going to win.
Caribbean politics wild, yeah.
Oh, me win. You're watching me like it's me.
You didn't run, nor did the opposition.
I mean, they tried their best.
They didn't.
I know.
They didn't.
I'm trying to make them feel a little better about this.
It's gonna be interesting how they move forward from here. And the obvious narrative of the people. The people put me here, and here I shall stay.
Not the fact that you wait till there was no opposition to call an election. That it had nothing to do with what you did.
This thing was crazy. Yeah. It meant, like, literally, boom, boom, boom. It was like, what, six of his senior ministers who'd just asked, fresh candidates, down the line, let's go.
I think this was a joke.
Bye.
The man said he could find 6 fresh ones, you could find an opposition. And he felt that I couldn't work it out. He, as the Prime Minister, has the power to call election anytime he feels like, And he did. Y'all lost. Y'all have 5 years to figure it
You
out.
didn't lose. Got to lose, you have to compete.
Yeah, 2 people.
Those are independents.
Oh.
I don't think the UWP contested any of the seats.
They did their best. Dominica did their best. Certain ministers are just feeling and come out until the day. Gonzalez.
They thought that about Bird too.
Skerritt.
They thought that about Papa Bird.
God rest his soul.
Bye. Caribbean, we got some work to do. We got some work to do.
Bye for. Just leave the people at me. Yeah?
And this isn't an indictment on Skerritt's leadership. Like that's not my intention or anything. But the systems that are involved.
Leave them, I tell you.
The systems. Like the thing about it for me is it's okay. You know, we have these strongman type leaders, right? These leaders that persons may believe are very just the definition of the strongman, right? Putin, for example, etc., etc. And people.
Hey, how long is that the other day?
But people and people love these men. I mean, you ask them, because I've spoken to Russians who are very pro.
How you don't just talk to everybody, so? Where you find a Russian to talk to, Azim?
I mean, they're all around, Jade. Just look on a yacht. Just look on a yacht, Jade.
That's a fair point.
They're all around. They're here all the time. Many.
In Nevis especially.
Many born Russians. I know one of our Kitchen Division brethren and sistren.
That's what I say, especially in Nevis.
So I was talking to and he told me, he said, look, there are people in Russia who love Putin because they see him as a strong man who, in a time when things could have gotten very much out of hand, he came in with reforms that steadied the ship. No, which is okay. Like, it's okay for you to have the strongman leader if the strongman is putting the systems in place to continue the charting that Secretary talked about. The charting that's necessary for stability going forward, even after he's no longer in office. Right? So if that is happening, okay, I can understand. Problem is, a lot of times that doesn't happen. So it's almost like with the monarchy. That was the issue with the monarchy system. You could have like a nice king who is very good for the people, very good for the economy, brings a time of peace, stability, and prosperity. And then hand it over to his disgusting spoiled son who ain't know what he doing and spoil up everything.
Don't talk about America like that. That's not nice.
America had never had a monarchy, so I wasn't talking about America. I wasn't talking. I petty people. Anyway.
Who Betty? Who in here, Betty?
Yeah, so, I mean, we have some of these leaders that I think, to some extent, share some of the characteristics with those strongman leaders, but succession generally is a question, right?
The man don't like get by.
Succession is usually an issue, as well as the systems that are put in place, right, to continue the type of prosperity, or let's just say the type of guidance that your supporters kind of love you for, right? So, are the results that your supporters love you for.
Chilling, man.
But yeah,
enjoying the time.
But again, we steady here, and the same thing I talked about yesterday. We steady here sometimes, and we build up the man instead of building up the institutions and the systems to bring about the results that we might respect the man for. So then what happens is you have these. Remember, if you have a cult, you need some kind of either leader or deity. So we have these demigods at the head of these parties running around the Caribbean. Like, that's what they become after a while, like demigods. If I tell you some of the things that, and if I tell you some of the things that we've heard about,
now tell me.
The leaders.
You should actually tell me.
Oh, bye.
Tell me, friend.
I hear, and this is a local,
Uh-huh.
speaking about one of our leaders who he admires.
Okay.
Say, if so, if the leader spitting him out, he glad to swallow. Now for a grown man to say that there, in the presence of other grown men, it tells you the level. It tells you the level at which we are. Like, that there was just like, oh.
I know he parents ain't proud, you know.
Parents ain't proud. Yeah.
Whoever that man be,
As a
he
matter of
parents
fact,
ain't proud.
now that I'm thinking about it, the parents might have been a little proud. Because they're deep into He's like a third generation stalwart. So maybe they were a little proud.
Okay.
But what I'm saying is we
Listen,
highlight.
that's where into it, don't shame you.
Indeed.
Yeah.
We highlight the
It's wild.
we highlight the man and the personality, or the woman the personality,
That is
and sometimes we forego building up the institutions that are necessary.
I mean, we see how that can backfire, but you know, we still love it here. Caribbean politics.
Caribbean politics.
Speaking of Caribbean politics,
Speaking of,
let me go see what's happening in the Caribbean. So our PM criticized someone recently.
are he saying that he didn't?
It says PM Drew criticizes Hamilton Reserve Bank for using fake attributes in paid press release. So I doing okay. So the Prime Minister, Honorable Dr. Terence Drew, in a statement shared by his press secretary, refuted a statement attributed to him in a paid press release disseminated on Business Wire and other news sources about Hamilton Reserve Bank. The statement from the Prime Minister's office reads, "The Prime Minister, Dr. Terence Drew, has rejected a statement attributed to him in a paid press release published on various international news sites and social media propaganda pages." I know which one he means. I know the one he means because I saw it. In the published article, the Prime Minister is allegedly quoted with a statement that he did not make about Hamilton Reserve Bank. The Prime Minister, upon being notified of the article today, well, yesterday or whenever this from, had this to say: "It is highly improper for any company to pay the international publishing of a quote which I did not make. The general public must know that I did not make any comments about Hamilton Reserve Bank publicly, none at all, publicly or privately in Dubai or otherwise." The paid press release was published on the web pages of Yahoo Finances, Associated Press, Business Wire, and the local propaganda social media page, the St. Kitts Nevis Times Caribbean.
Okay, hold on.
I love how that just.
St. Kitts Nevis Times, okay, cool. But I must say, there's some good company there.
Listen.
Because Yahoo Finance and AP.
Which is why I'm pretty sure they are making sure that y'all understand that all this is cool, but there was also a propaganda page in there.
So wait there. So if we can't trust Yahoo Finance and AP with the due diligence,
Who can we trust? Who can we trust?
that's
friend?
crazy, yo.
Yeah.
I hope they ain't come up with a recording here.
So you go. Ain't like we ain't have a history of recordings being leaked here. That won't be the first time a minister was heard saying something he probably shouldn't say.
No, but he said he didn't say it.
Exactly. So there will be no leaks.
Right, so there's no leaks to be had.
Yeah, unless there's the software now that could actually make you sound like you're saying something.
Yeah.
Very scary. A deep fake, very scary. Anyway, the press release on Business Wire reads, Prime Minister Drew commented, "We are proud to have Hamilton Reserve Bank as the only banking presence in the Middle East from our country serving customers and introducing contacts. St. Kitts and Nevis welcomes new citizens and new investments." The article's headline is Hamilton Reserve Bank, Dubai branch, welcomes St. Kitts and Nevis Prime Minister as the only Middle East banking presence from the Federation. So where did this here from? So how I just make up that?
Jade,
That's not what a statement to make up.
No, all I'm gonna say is the whole story is just very, very interesting.
I know, friend.
Like, that seemed to be the same bank that changed the name 3 times in a year.
And I want to mix up a good prime minister with that after the man just saved a life last month. Have you no shame?
But you gotta be careful out here.
Bye.
In the streets.
Telling you, they don't love you like I do. She's doing the most. That's crazy though.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Because I mean, anybody could just make up anything about you. I mean, they just do it all the time anyway.
They do it all the time, but the thing is, that's why we don't get our news from certain places. But then, the thing
Some
is,
of us don't.
yeah. But then the thing is, because generally, what I would suspect then would be that a somewhat reputable media house like the Associated Press should then print a retraction.
They might need to. Let me look over there and see what's happening.
Let
me just.
maybe they want, maybe they didn't make the request, but I mean something serious like this.
I would have.
Well,
If I was PM, Mr. PM, I would have sent them a nice little love letter. A nice little love letter.
Associated Press and Yahoo Finance.
Yeah, and the one here. Everybody would have got a love letter.
That
But
is
actually, I saw that page report that he actually didn't say it.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. You would expect to see some retractions. Yeah, you should expect, as they should. Like,
Yeah, you can't just mix up the man in them something there.
Bye. A lot of mix up going on. A lot of mix up going on.
Where is it?
And the truth is though, like when you get into certain positions, you trade some of the comforts of regular life, right? Like your phone is no longer a place that you could go and get away from
Nobody.
what's going on in the world.
And they ringing every 5 seconds?
They must have got like 300 messages.
Listen, my phone would have stay on do not disturb. Every day, just do not disturb. When I ready to see them, I gonna see them.
Yeah, but like, and that's funny. That's funny, you know, because in the Caribbean in particular, and I want to believe that St. Kitts, this phenomena is even deeper here in St. Kitts, where regular people just have access to the ministers.
Yeah.
Like how much people you think in America really got Biden number and could just send him a message and be like,
not at all. That ain't happening. They can't even find Biden. They can't even just walk up to Biden.
you can't walk up to Biden.
I
You
just
can't
see
walk
ministers them just strolling to town.
on the beach and so.
Frolic.
Frolic. No, I remember one time I had some friends here from the US and the Prime Minister at the time was passing and I was like, hey, look, that's the Prime Minister. They're like, what do you mean the Prime Minister? Like a preacher or something?
Yeah, man.
I was like, no, like that's the person who run the country. They're like, what? And he just walking around like that? I was
The other
like,
day I see Jude on Pozante. I said it was just like
you see Jude on pause and Jude was down on the bed lifting weights.
I tell listen,
Like just going in.
at Caribbean politics again, I think the Caribbean might be one of the only places where you could just see the Prime Minister regularly.
Yeah, but I mean, you've seen them is one thing, but then
And having access.
yeah, the level of access I think is very interesting because you could like people just literally be calling like they're having a random conversation and be like, you know, I'm calling PM.
As if the man ain't doing nothing. The man literally busy running the country. I disturbed him to ask him a question from 12 years ago.
12 years ago.
Just because he's the PM and you want people know that you know him.
It might be some. It might just be some story from like when wherever they're talking by the bar and they just walk up by and call the PM.
The man literally trying to run the country, you know. I disturbing him for
Yeah.
nonsense.
Yeah, but and it's all the ministers. And I guess you want some level of access because we're in a small society and one of the complaints is, you know, they're around when you're looking for your vote. Once they get your vote, then you can't find them again. So
Yeah, because they're busy.
yeah, but Yeah, I think that's a balancing act that all the ministers gonna have to figure out, because that'll be wild to me. How people will just be like, yeah, I'm gonna just message the minister.
Yeah, I just shoot him a call, see what he doing. I mean, he
But
probably
then-
not busy.
But they complain that you can't find them.
I wonder why.
They're reading the 300 texts.
Bro, I just have so many messages unopened daily. And I ain't one in nobody country. Barely one in my own.
Yeah.
So I could just imagine for them. But let's give them an update on something that happened last week.
Yeah, this one was wild.
So the cruise ship passenger who was rescued from the ocean isn't sure how he went overboard. He was drunk for sure. His family tell us so.
Hey, sometimes you gotta trust Auntie Sandra, yo.
Man had one too many.
Sometimes you gotta trust Auntie Sandra. Auntie Sandra don't tell her, yo. He somewhere lean up drunk here.
And he from Alabama? Oh yeah. That man was knocked out. And then he went over in the water.
Oh boy. Give the people the background.
An Alabama man who rescuers pulled from the Gulf of Mexico hours after he was reported missing from a cruise ship doesn't know how he wound up in the water, he told ABC. James Michael Grimes, who treaded water for a large part of Thanksgiving Day, Lord, on Thanksgiving too, you know.
You know the food and the cruise ship was gonna be crazy that day.
Food plus the alcohol, of course he went over. Like,
So you missed all of.
wait, he went over before he ate or after?
Yeah, mate, I don't know.
Let me see. If it,
But even so, the food on the ship all there was gonna be crazy, Jade.
Bye. That is fact. He was rescued and he doesn't remember falling off the carnival valor, he said.
This might be foreplay.
Hey, remember falling off? So what he feels, somebody push him? How he feel like he in the water? That's what I want to know.
Jade, this story, the plot thickens. Jade.
Yes, well, he said that the 28-year-old had lost consciousness and simply awoke in the water. Say this man had a few too many.
A few?
I came to. I was in the water with no boat in sight. Oh, sorry. Grimes and his family were just hours into a cruise. The man never make it 2 days. Hours.
Tell the people what happened, Jade.
Departing Thanksgiving Eve from New Orleans to Mexico when he vanished. His eventual rescue, which happened after a bulk carrier crew saw him in the water and alerted the U.S. Coast Guard, was one of those Thanksgiving miracles, a Coast Guard official has said. Grimes was at an onboard bar with his sister before walking off to use a restroom around 11. The night before Thanksgiving, his sister recalled, according to a carnival statement to CNN. He had had drinks on the Valor, but he was not inebriated. Sir, be for real.
Right.
Be for real, sir. You had drinks.
But I think that's his sister saying that.
No.
Is he saying that he was not?
He said that. Sir, come on. Come on now.
So he was by a bar chilling with his sister. Went to use the bathroom and next thing you know, he in the sea?
Like,
With no boat inside?
no boat. So, long in the water for you to wake up and no boat there?
But Jade, if he jump, so he just drop in the water and float?
Yeah, apparently. What else could happen?
Because if no boat inside, them man, you know them boats they in what? Come on, Jade.
I need to come on. He needs to come on. He just he drop on his back. How we were floating in the water.
Then you fall off a ship and just float for at least an hour, and then wake up. I was like, am I in the sea? Something get added up in this story.
Not
Jade.
at all.
Something
Not at all, Just say I was drunk. You fall off the boat, say I was drunk. That's okay. It happens to you. I was about to say the best of us, but
No,
never happened to the best of us.
No, that would never happen.
It happens to you. It's okay.
Wow.
We're not judging you.
Yes, I am.
Don't judge.
Yes.
As if you acted like you never fall off a boat drunk.
Not that I can remember.
No, exactly. That's the problem with
Yeah.
you. You can't remember, and he remember either.
Oh my gosh.
He just feel that's what happened. But
Right.
what really happened was he blacked out, but his body was still functioning. So he
Just don't remember.
Yeah, because he was blacked out drunk.
Right.
And so when he came to from the alcohol,
He was in the sea.
he'd been in the sea. He just didn't realize. He just didn't realize.
Yeah, I've seen that in people, like people who
But
The
he
next
lucky he
day.
ain't drunk for Trina.
Jade, I've seen
Me
that in
mother
people,
say
like they
why.
function, but they're in such a drunken stupor that they don't remember. They
But
don't remember what happened.
The man lucky bad cow ain't drunk.
Jade, I've seen this multiple times. I remember one time when I was in college, we went to a party.
With your roommate?
No, this wasn't my roommate.
Oh, your roommate stories is the best.
Oh, yeah. This wasn't my roommate. This was Brad.
But sound like a white person, so they
Yes.
said I'm going wrong. Okay.
But really and truly what happened is we was liming by Brad's house.
First mistake. Uh-huh.
Brad decided to drink a bottle of wine to the head.
Yeah, I don't do that.
Right? Yeah, fine. Okay, cool. Then this other dude come and was like, hey, DJing by this party. You want us to take a pass over there? We all said, yeah, okay, cool. They jump in my chance, we gone. We there hanging out, making new friends because this party ain't even people from our school. It's like a different college. But we just there relaxing, making friends. I'm like the token like Rastaman in there.
Lord.
One of the fellas then come in and be like, hey, that guy you came with? He say, yeah, he's about to go fight 6 guys outside. I'm like, what?
Not worse than when your friend them drunk and want to fight, Like, why are just posting them situations?
Ah, boy. So we got to go outside. We got to take Brad. We got to bring him back inside. Like, all of a sudden, he back out again, having a whale of a time. Trying to fight like six fellas.
I got one, Brad. Brad putting not only his life in danger, but mine as well. So he'd go home.
So there was a bunch of things in between where I basically had to pull out like my Senkit's accent. And the Senkit's accent kind of just scare people because they don't understand what's happening.
No.
I think they don't think you're Jamaican and you carry guns.
Yeah.
Like, I think
Is that
that's
their feelings?
Yeah. So you pull out like the Senkit's accent came out, was able to give us enough time to escape.
Ah.
Yeah. Sometimes accent will come in handy.
I'm telling you, most times it's our own foreigners.
Next morning, gone to class. Like Brad
Brad which class?
reached class with some shades bigger than his face.
Brad going through a mystic time in his head.
But I was like,
Everything to
bro, what happened last night, man? I'm like, what?
Brad was unknowingly putting all your life in danger.
No, it was crazy, Jade. It was crazy.
See,
Like,
that's what drunk people do.
yeah, and then we had this like skinhead fellow that was like with us, named Mike. Hey, big up. No, Kevin, sorry. Named Kevin. And Kevin, he direct from the skinhead culture. Like, not the skinhead Nazi culture.
Oh, like what you like?
No. Like the actual
What?
the skinhead culture that listen like a lot of scans. So the man the more scared than me. The man listening Desmond Decker and Errol Dunkley and so.
Okay.
Right? His favorite artist is Eka Mouse Jade. 6'3", white guy, bald head. Tattoos all over and as we have boots everywhere.
Love it.
Right? Poor Brad A know that Kevin does walk around with weapons on him for no apparent reason.
But he looked like he would. I mean, from your description.
Yeah. But I mean, to me, he's just Kevin in class, who
Yeah.
sits next to me and asks me questions about sound. So like that's who he is to me.
That's okay.
Poor Brad A know that he put in the whole crew in harm's way. Come the next day, about, hey bro, what happened last night?
Brad was going to stay home for the rest of the semester. He clearly can't control himself when he outside, so he would have been on timeout.
But the point is, yes, people as function, get into all kind of things, have conversations. I mean, not very lucid conversations, but have conversations, move around, and then the next day, just have no recollection of nothing happening.
None whatsoever.
Aye. At least in this case, he only put himself in harm's way. Suppose the man did Japan and made a propeller.
Then he'd have been shark food.
But nobody don't know he be here.
In a shark belly.
We would have a whole different conversation now.
Oh, yes.
Hey, do me a favor, Jade. Google this. How many people got missing on cruise ships annually?
Mega Google it. Hey, really, that much?
No, Jade, but if it's any at all.
Yeah. There's a whole woman that went missing off a cruise ship. Allegedly, she was sex trafficked.
Jade.
She just was there. Then next thing you know, they couldn't find her.
They couldn't find her?
Yeah. To know. And
her.
then a man, he didn't go missing, but he... Oh, no, actually, he did go missing. Yeah, they never find his body again. They just see a big old blood spatter on the boat.
Let's do a guess.
Couple of people, man.
No, I want to guess.
But not a lot. I don't think it's a lot.
How much for a year? Give me a number.
5?
5? I think it's more than that, Jane. I've been on cruise ships. I could see the amount of alcohol they're running.
Yeah.
And the lack of cares in the world. Like, you literally don't even make up your bed.
Man, about to go on a boat and just drunk all the time. You know?
You said 5, I said 20.
Just drunk all the time on a big old boat?
You said 5, I said 20.
In the middle of the ocean?
Let me check.
With barely railings?
Who gets the closest gets what? What are we doing?
You know, where one bet? In the meantime, I'm going to look up
something from First Federal Delhi.
Okay. Well, pick wherever you want.
Okay, let's see.
Yeah.
But that to me, you don't concede in Jane.
Twin Island looks sexy, yeah?
Oh, okay. Let's see here now. How many people go missing on cruise ships annually?
See if I could get a sangria out of this one.
Yep, I win.
Man.
People very rarely disappear on a cruise ship. On average, it's around 19 people. That's a lot of people, Jade.
Yeah, that's a lot of people.
That's a lot of people.
I'm even more shocked that I was so close, though. The lot of people is worrying, but you was very, very, very close.
But this is out of the millions of cruise ship passengers that travel aboard.
Not too bad, eh?
One of the 314 cruise ships that sail the world's ocean each year. So yeah, yeah.
So there you go.
All right, I'll make up my mind what I want. Maybe some coffee.
Yeah, that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Well, while I go set up for the next interview, read that there first, please.
Oh, what is this here? Oh my gosh. I don't like these stories, because they just literally be undermining my entire...
I know, fine. I know.
Anyway. Alright, this is from the Associated Press. No, we can't just not listen. But apparently, they're trying to convince us that this perfect example of a man...
Perfect example.
A polygamous leader.
A polygamous?
Polygamous, sorry. Leader had 20 wives, many of them minors. Good thing we can't believe nothing that AP says now. We can't believe nothing they say now, Jane. The leader of a small polygamous group near the Arizona-Utah border had taken at least 20 wives, most of them minors, and punished followers who did not treat him as a prophet. Newly filed federal court documents show. Samuel Bateman was a former member of the Fundamentalist Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, or FLDS, until he left to start his own small offshoot group. He was supported. He was supported financially by male followers who also gave up their own wives and children to be Bateman's wives, according to an FBI affidavit. The document filed Friday provides new insight about what investigators have found in a case that first became public in August. It accompanied charges of kidnapping and impeding a foreseeable prosecution against 3 of Bateman's wives. Let's see. So those are Naomi Bistline, Donne Barlow, and Moretta Rose Johnson. So both Bistline and Barlow are scheduled to appear in federal magistrate court in Flagstaff on Wednesday. Johnson is awaiting extradition from Washington State. The women are accused of fleeing with 8 of Bateman's children who were placed in Arizona State custody earlier this year. The children were found last week hundreds of miles away in Spokane, Washington. What a story.
I know. I heard about the cult, sorry, I mean religion before.
When you heard about them, Jay, they be here walking around.
LDS, I mean.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Oh, there are members here?
Yeah.
Let me show you, because you ain't gonna find me.
Jay, they're worldwide. It's a very big group. Now, bear in mind, this guy, what happened here is that this guy started his own thing, eh?
Yeah, I know. He was a part of the church and he left.
Yeah, so...
He wanted to be in charge.
No, but he said he was a prophet.
He could say what he want.
But we have prophets here now.
Yeah, man.
We have a lot of prophets every
Name
week.
one.
Jade. The prophets and prophetesses.
Name one, my friend.
I'm not naming any, Jade.
Why? Maybe I need to get to know one. Maybe there are special
No, but what I'm saying is
message for me.
No, a lot of churches have prophets and prophetesses. Like right here in St. Kitts.
Oh, okay.
Like this saying or not. So like he coming out and saying that he's a prophet. What this says to me though is what I don't like in these cases is I understand how faith could impact people's decisions, but at some point you have husbands who are giving up their wives and their kids to be this man's wives and kids. No, you see, this is why we need to understand the role of people in families. Like how you as the husband and father giving up your children.
And your wife.
How?
Hey, want them no more. The prophet needs them more than him.
Fellas,
it happens.
Please.
A man never want a wife more than you.
And I've never had a wife,
Oh.
but I mean, that does sound like something plausible.
Yeah, I mean. I know there's married men right now who give up their wife all the time. By will or by force.
By will or by force? Well, who am I to judge?
Exactly. That is not our place in society, sir. We're not here to judge.
I'm here to judge.
No,
That's
we're here
one
to
of
give
these.
information.
One of these days, I'm gonna come and rant about this whole thing going on in society, but don't judge. I don't even understand how that even makes sense.
Wait, what? Not judging?
Not judging. Like, what you mean don't judge? Like, what you think I got brain for?
Not to judge.
I'm supposed to judge. The problem is prejudge. If you're prejudiced, then I have an issue if you're prejudiced.
Oh.
So yeah, if you have a situation where people make assessments based on minimal information or even a lack of information, I have an issue with that. But if I'm watching what you're doing, I have all the evidence necessary to make a judgment, and I'm supposed to, because if I don't make judgments, then what happens is I put myself in peculiar situations, or people around me in peculiar situations. You have to make judgments. We're supposed to judge.
Well, the good book says not to judge, so.
What? Where?
There what the Bible says?
No.
Oh, what the Bible says?
I know there's a lot of judgment in the Bible.
There's something in the Bible about not judging.
Jade, there is no text
You sure?
worth anything that would give you that advice, Jade. What do you mean don't judge? Like, we're supposed to judge. Like, that's what I tell you, this thing, it's a thing in society, you know? It's a thing in
sure in the Bible.
Jade, I'm telling
Look in the
you,
Bible, yeah?
there is nowhere, and there must be some context. If you can tell
No,
people.
don't try that.
No, what I'm saying is, for instance, if you say, watch it, don't judge if you ain't want to get judged. Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not a thing. You see what I'm saying? Like, there's a book in the Bible named Judges. There's a book in the Bible called Judges. So I don't know.
No matter what, Jesus said don't judge.
I don't know about that.
That's what we're living by.
But so you're living by that?
You crazy?
Not me, you know.
You crazy, no?
Oh,
I don't judge every
I
day.
make judgments every single minute of every single day.
By whether it be on social media or not, I judging on you.
There's sometimes I'm walking down the road and I see someone and I make a judgment call and say, you know what, I'm probably going to go on the other side of the road because that person obviously has not taken a shower in the last maybe 3 or 4 years.
Smart thing.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So I shouldn't judge him.
You don't know their circumstances.
No, Jade. I'm not doing anything to them. Like, that's not what I'm doing now. What I'm doing is I'm taking myself out of a situation where I don't have to be knocked down by the aroma emanating from this person.
I see.
Yeah, we're supposed to judge. And like it's starting to upset me because it's like such a thing. Like, people will do whatever they want to do, behave how they want to behave, and then say, Don't judge me. Who are you to judge me? What do you mean? I have a brain. I'm looking at you. What is he saying? Like,
you do nonsense.
Yeah, like, I'm supposed to judge you. What are you talking about? Like I said, I think the issue a lot of times is prejudice, like prejudging people. But, Lord, man. It's like, you can't just run around doing what you want and then act like as if nobody's supposed to have something to say about it.
Nope. I would have been in a very sad state.
We would have put people in a very, very, very peculiar position.
That is a fact.
Maybe that's the reason why some people keep repeating the mistakes of others, because they didn't judge them.
That's weird.
That's weird?
Yeah, boy. The weather outside changing up.
Hey, watch your Christmas breeze is here, you know.
It is.
I up by the tent last night and
shivering, eh?
Well, I wasn't shivering, but
I would have been.
I felt good. Like but I heard people complaining about.
No, wait, no, it's cold. Every time you go outside, especially if you keep forgetting it's cold. So like you're going somewhere, you get dressed, you forget the weather. You go outside, the weather remind you what you need to wear.
Hey, them fellas who just live up in the hills, right? I just wonder how they do it sometimes, yeah. You know, them fellas who like live on the farms, like way up in the hills by themselves and so.
By they're not custom. Has to be that they're not custom, cause
the man who come down into civilization once every 3 months.
that weather is rough.
Yeah, but it's like, but the Christmas breeze is here, and just one reminder that it's December time. It has been cold. It has been cold last night for sure. So,
definitely.
Yeah. What's going on in the world, Jade? I see you watching 2 things.
Bye. It's okay. Let's take a break.
Oh yeah, we got things to jump into. But guys, we're gonna take a short break and be right back with more Island Tea right here on Win Media SKN. Stay tuned, stay locked. We'll be right back.
O come all ye faithful, joyful and triumphant. Come, feel the spirit of Christmas at the annual Christmas concert at St. George's Anglican Church on Keon Street on Monday, December 19 at 8 p.m. Enjoy top vocalists, children's and adult choirs, instrumentalists, steel band, dancers, and more.
Joy to the world, the Lord is come.
A memorable night of Christmas cheer is guaranteed as always. Tickets for the Anglican Christmas concert are $25 and available at Harper's and the St. George's Rectory.
Heaven and nature sing. Heaven and nature sing.
Maybe it's the way the brilliant gold liquid reflects our sunshine, or how the bright blue of its label mirrors the clear Caribbean skies overhead. Maybe it's the fresh, crisp taste of this beastly cold beer on a scorching hot day. Maybe it's even the way it brings us all together. But one thing is for sure, Carib is very much a part of who we are wherever we're from in the Caribbean. Carib, it's the way we play. Drink responsibly.
Hey guys, morning, good morning. Welcome back to Island T right here on Win Media SKN. And guys, we have some friends in the studio who've come to hang out, and I'm hoping they have some good news. And it is such an amazing time that they even walk in with more friends. More friends are even joining us as we speak. Good morning, guys. Our friends from the Development Bank. How are you guys doing?
We're fine, thanks. Good morning, Radio Land.
Thanks.
Nice.
Good morning as well.
Nice, lovely. Well, here we go, guys. Firstly, could you guys introduce yourselves to the listeners and the viewers, please?
Good.
So good morning again. My name is Mrs. Alicia Mack, the Assistant Manager for the Delinquency Department at the Development Bank of St. Kitts and Nevis.
My name is Jamila Warner, the Assistant Manager for the Loans Administration and Documentation Unit of the Development Bank. We're here to talk about the soft loan that Development Bank is offering to the general public. It's called a Back to Business SME loan program. You could get up to $20,000. This loan initiative is for persons who are affected directly and indirectly by the COVID.
Ah, okay.
And good morning. My name is Austin Edinburgh. I'm advisor in the Office of the Prime Minister, and I've been delegated by the government through the Office of the Prime Minister to interact with the public on this soft loan matter, giving the government perspective, having regards that it's a partnership between the government of St. Kitts and Nevis, that is the St. Kitts and Nevis Labour Party government, and the Development Bank.
Oh, okay. So things are happening. So based on the little that you have mentioned before, this is an opportunity for who? Is it for individuals, for small businesses? And of course, I know there is going to be some highlighting of exactly what the thought process was behind this offer. So tell us a bit more.
Okay, again, it's for persons who are affected by the COVID directly and indirectly. So if you had a business prior to COVID and that business went under, again, because of COVID, then you can come in and apply for this loan to restart or jumpstart your business once again.
Mm-hmm. So that's interesting. So is it only for businesses that would have ceased operations, or just businesses that would have been negatively affected by the pandemic and the situation?
To answer that question, both of what you're saying.
Okay.
Because it's open for anyone. Again, if you want to apply, you could call our office, 465-2288, make an appointment with the receptionist. Once you come in to see our loan officer, you must have 2 IDs, proof of address, your business license, whether it's expired or it's up to date, because again, you were affected by COVID, the business was not operating at that point in time. And last but not least, any copies of invoices of the items that you want to purchase.
Okay.
So to add more to what she's saying, we would have had many businesses that would have been impacted by the COVID-19 pandemic. There would have been a slowdown of their services, the business, the operations. And what the government and the Development Bank of St. Kitts and Nevis is doing, we are allowing businesses the opportunity to inject into the company to, for lack of better words, to give them the start or the push that they need for the growth of the business, especially during the peak when we are trying to get our economy back up and running. Example, in the tourism sector, as you say, the many cruise ships that are coming in, we might have business owners that need that inject in the business to jumpstart or to commence their operations, and the finances might not be available to them because of the COVID-19 that would have caused them not to have any income or little to no income. So this is the program that we have started to give them the push that they need to help them with the funds to jumpstart the businesses.
Okay, awesome.
And then to add to that as well, Bailey, you may have those persons who had the business, they have a rental space. They were not able to operate, so they need, funds to continue to pay for this rental space. They owe Skellig or whoever else for their utilities. This is also for them, because it's like an injection, as she mentioned, for a liquid cash for you to then boost or kickstart back your business.
Okay. Okay, so the usage of the funds is not limited to purchasing of equipment, just
No.
for okay. Just in clarifying, because I know there was some talk about perhaps presenting invoices for that kind of stuff. So this really is just an initiative that is put in place, recognizing that there's been a lot of businesses that were negatively impacted by the pandemic. And this is to try and give them the opportunity to get back on their feet.
Yes.
And to get the business back up and running, or even perhaps even grow it to some extent.
Expand.
Yes.
Okay, nice. But of course, we know the maximum figure you mentioned, the 20,000. But the question people can ask next.
Yes, to answer that question, we would not say that's the maximum. However, that's the maximum that Development Bank can approve or can make a decision upon. However, it may have persons who need more than 20,000. They would still apply through Development Bank. However, that application has to go through the Ministry of Finance for a decision-making process.
Okay.
To the Ministry of Finance, yes.
Okay, so there is scope for persons to be eligible for even more
than 20,000.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And while we speak on that topic, we would like the persons to know that the potential clients or our already existing clients to know that this fund, that this loan, it won't be commingled with any other loans. What we mean by that, we are not using this loan for any debt consolidation, for any refinances.
Right.
This loan will stand by itself for the purpose that it was introduced for. So even if you have other loans at the Development Bank, we won't be doing any payouts, any refinances. This will stand on itself, by itself.
Okay, I totally get that. Bearing in mind that the reason behind it is very specific and so forth. But the question that I was actually alluding to earlier is one of the terms, in terms of interest rates and payback terms.
Yes, so it's up to 20,000 at an interest rate of 2.5%. The duration of that loan is between 5 to 7 years. Now, for those who may seek anything over 20,000, they may have up to 10 years to repay that loan. But it's 20,000, 2.5% interest rate at a duration of 5 to 7 years. So the payback, is very minimal. Give them enough time to still operate and, able to continue on the business at a minimal installment.
I must say, the interest rates of 2.5 is actually very attractive.
Yes, it is. And if I could remember, I was running some figures yesterday, and 2.5% for $20,000, I think I would have gotten somewhere around $355.
Correct.
Yes, so it sounds really good. It's something that we need to take advantage of because it sounds really, really good.
All right, well, I think this is something that a lot of people will really consider, taking advantage of. 2.5 isn't bad at all. I'm telling you. So, I mean, the process from what you're saying is, you reach out to Development Bank, speak to someone who would perhaps give you an appointment to
the
come in.
The receptionist, 465-2288. You make an appointment through the receptionist for a loan officer. If they don't want to come in, we also offer online. That's www.skndb.com. You open the portal and you go to business loan, and it would give you all the information there for you to apply online. You just upload your documents, and then the bank will contact you thereafter to go forward with the application.
Well, Jay, this is really 2022. You just go online and apply?
As it should be.
You're like paying a bill, man.
And yes, you can also make payment online. I don't know if Elisha want to speak more about that, but you can make payment online. We have the mobile banking, the online portal. We have the you could pay through National Bank, what you call it, the standing order. So yes, if you don't want to come into the line, into the bank, then
we have that service available now.
Yes. Okay.
So we're actually living in 2022.
Boom, bam, boom, bam. Development Bank to work. Well, I mean, I am sure that there's a lot of people who may be excited. I'm already seeing on the live persons who are acknowledging that somebody is saying, that's a nice deal. So
yes, and they actually have to call as soon as possible because
the appointments
are going. I think the next available appointment might be by now the end of December.
Wow.
Yes.
Oh, so when this was announced? Because I just heard about this.
Sometime last week.
Oh, so
mid last week, Edinburgh.
And let me say this to that. My information is that it has now gone beyond the end of December. It is actually in January.
See?
Oh my gosh,
because when I called yesterday, the appointment that I got for the client was the 28th of December. So now he's confirming that it's over in January because persons are going for it. And I can say we have already been disbursing our funds.
Yes.
Wait, this thing done on
my
the bar?
My department is actually responsible for that, and I can tell you I would have already seen some that we already fully disbursed the loan to the persons. And they already come and collect.
But yeah, I be here for Dubai.
Well, let me give the government a little big up here. Because the government is the donor to the bank. That is not to say that the bank has nothing to do with it. The bank is an equal partner. The bank is undertaking a risk. And so, at minimal, but there's no profit in it. Let's put it this way. It's at minimal operating cost that the bank is expending this loan. And so the bank needs to be given the credit because this process as well is causing the workers to have to operate in overdrive mode. And so I want to, at this time, commend my thank you to the workers at Development Bank for stepping up and for facilitating the rush that we are having at this time. The government, this initiative was born out of the idea or the notion of wanting to give, wanting to help, particularly the taxi drivers who were so hard hit. But it was realized that if you do that, it has to be a small figure because you're going to give everybody. And really and truly, it would be of no help. And so the government came up with the idea of a soft loan. Make you a little bit more liquid, help you to restart your business, make it easier for you, because if you're stressed out, you work less and you are less healthy. And it is part of the government, it's just one aspect of it, the government COVID-19 relief and recovery package. It is intended that when the entire package has been expended to the people of St. Kitts, 99.5% of the people will be touched in one way or the other. And let me just answer a question that came to me the other day, and I answered it to the gentleman. He said, well, it's a loan, we have to pay it back. Yes, and let me say, the government is making it easy in terms of the length of time.
And the interest rate.
And the interest rate. And the government will reward responsible behavior. This government will recognize responsible behavior. So we are asking persons to remain current. Because here's what happened. You have an easy term now of repayment. If you fail to repay, it's going to become a difficult term, because the very same measures of collecting would be applied, and it means taking you to the court, and instead you're having this easy term repayment, the court might determine it's another one-term strenuous payment.
And we have the right person here because she's in charge of that department,
Okay. And so let me tell you what the government give back to the business community is, even though it's a loan. Normally, and I've researched this through all the commercial banks, normally, for a loan for this purpose, you would be paying a minimum of 9% interest. For a loan for this purpose, you would not be getting more than 3 years to repay it.
Correct.
So when the government is making it possible that you can get a loan at 2.5%, if my math served me right, that's 6.5% less. That is what the government is doing for you. And that is not an easy thing to do. And it is an extremely benevolent action on the part of the government. So I don't want anybody to think that the government is not looking after its small, micro, and medium-sized business community. That's what I would say up to this point.
And I am so glad that you would have brought that up, because many of my delinquent business clients have, however, been taking advantage of this program to bring them current and to bring their business back to a profitable stage. And I am expecting and hoping that they remain current, their other loans go back to a current standing, and that it will show us that they're now in a better position to repay their loans in full. So just like you would have stated, that we don't expect them not to remain current, because this is an opportunity that we are giving them, the opportunity that they would have been asking for. We are now giving it to them, ourselves and the government. We are now giving them that opportunity that they have been asking for. So now we expect them to explore all possibilities, all revenues to remain current, become profitable, because in us helping them, they have to help us as well.
Certainly. As we say in my days, I don't want to use the long time days, but it is in the long time days. You scratch my back,
I scratch yours. Definitely.
I also want to point out, and I think it's important to point out, that this is, a third initiative that has been completed by the government. And there's about 3 or 4 more to come out eventually. The first thing that the government did was for the persons who were terminated without any compensation package because they had doubts about the COVID vaccine. The government took it upon itself to give them some compensation, to give them some relief from the strenuous and stressful situation that they underwent. The second thing that it did was to pay an honorarium to to frontline workers. As a matter of fact, this is the fourth initiative. The third initiative was the extra salary to its government workers, because even if they were not directly involved, they have families and it became stressful. And now we have moved away from the persons for a bit, and we have now gone to the micro, small, and medium-sized business sector of our economy and of our country. And we are saying, it's time to touch you. This government is intending to touch, as I said, 99.5% of the people with its COVID-19 relief and recovery package.
All right, well, that's great. One other question in terms of requesting the appointments. Is there expected deadline that exists, at least at this point, where persons may have to take advantage of this opportunity before it runs out?
Okay, good question, but we only got a certain amount from the government.
Okay.
So until that is maximized, then we encourage all persons to apply, but until then, it's a first come, first serve basis.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, totally understand. Well, guys, but you have already highlighted the fact that this is obviously what needed, as is evident from the response from the general public, and that appointments are going like hot bread and butter.
Mm-hmm.
So and I don't expect that to slow down anytime soon, because it COVID really did affect everyone in one way or another, and so the businesses were not exempt at all. We spoke up to yesterday, I think it was, Jade, about how this had really affected businesses, and people are, to this point, are still trying to recover.
Yes,
right?
that's true.
And so this is just one other mechanism to help that recovery process. And guys, it's something you look into. Again, 2.5%, guys. When again?
20,000, 2.5% interest rate as a duration between 5 to 7 years.
When again?
That's a purple.
Hey, sign me up in Agabako.
If you call the bank and you don't get the appointment at an appropriate time that you wish to do, if you get it in January, then you just go online, www.skndb.com, go on the business loan portal, and then the drop-down information will be right there, readily available to you. Upload all the documents you need, and then someone in the bank will contact you. So avoid the appointment date and go online.
I like the personal touch, but hey, we got to move with the times.
I believe in that too. And again, say if you upload those documents and they're not done correctly according to the bank standards, someone will reach out to you and, guide you through it as well. So either way, you would have that one-on-one interaction with someone at the bank.
Lovely.
And I actually have to applaud the credit risk department, the credit risk analysis department, because like we say, and based on the appointments that have already been booked, they have been working
overtime.
And the fact that we are already have been disbursing, it means that we are on time with everything.
Yeah.
And so we must applaud them.
Well, guys, when you came in here off mic, I was asking if you guys came to give me some money, and the answer seems to be yes.
I did say yes, so
bearing in mind, it's not free money.
Of course not. But one name, so that don't really
I
exist.
just want you to make sure.
Well, announcer, I'm glad that you saw the gift in it, okay? Yes, you have to pay it back. But if you don't see a gift in 6.5% less in interest,
definitely.
that is your gift, that is what you don't have to pay. So I'm glad that you saw the gift in it as well.
Yeah, man, 2.5 is definitely a deal.
Yeah.
And I'm happy to hear that there's been this type of response, and again, it really does prove the fact that there were a lot of persons, businesses who have been trying to navigate post-COVID, and so this is definitely an opportunity for them to do just that. So thank you guys so much. Guys, take advantage. Just for those listening again, could we repeat the number of the bank and the website?
That's 465-2288. The bank website is www.skndb.com.
Thank you so much, guys, and appreciate it. Thanks for coming and hanging out right here on Island T.
You're welcome.
Thanks for
Thank you
having
so
us.
much for having us.
Yeah, you guys are welcome. Feel free to come back and just sip some tea with us. Okay?
Thank you.
Guys, we're going to take a short break and be with more Island Tea right here on Win Media SKN. Stick and stay.
Rams is for you and me. Giving back to community. Rams is for you and me. Better for your family. Better service, better price, better value, better choice. Rewarding you for loyalty. Rams is for you and me. Better price and quality.
Shirley is celebrating 70 years. Can you believe it? Everyone loves a Shirley biscuit, known for its rich, creamy taste, as well as the iconic house and flower design. We all know Shirley is the perfect on-the-go snack, and it's truly the Caribbean's favorite. Simply put, there's nothing quite like a Shirley biscuit. I can't imagine life without it. I too love my Shirley.
It's the Caribbean flavor. Shirley biscuits make me happy.
When the star them there, we a top man, we take charge. Magnum we drink and we a shell down hard. Blast like a star with some gallopar. Overdo it, we take it too far. Take charge, take charge.
We are hot gal, we set the trend. Magnum we drink for the top man them. Wine with the style, no stop from spin. Hot blend, back bend, and take charge, take charge.
Magnum tonic wine, the real star them. Take charge, take charge. Must be 18 or older, drink responsibly.
Hey guys, welcome back to Island Tea right here on Win Media SKN, and we are jumping into a very special segment. We're gonna be talking to a talented guy. Jade.
Coming out of Trinidad, yes.
Jade, you decided to go link up with our cousins down in Trinidad this morning.
Sometimes you have to. Sometimes you have to. Yes, but we are joined this morning by BraveBoy. He's an artist out of Trinidad. How are you doing this morning?
Morning. St. Kitts Neves. Greetings from Trinidad and Tobago.
Awesome, man. And how are you doing? How are things in Trinidad?
I'm good, everything is kind of starting back up here. The pandemic had us all, restricted for 2 years.
Yeah.
So, the fets, the parang about to start. I don't know if you all know about parang music.
Oh, yeah, man.
Yeah. So, the parang about to start in Trinidad. It's Christmas time. We're also prepping for Carnival. Carnival 2023 is probably going to be the biggest carnival ever, at least since I'm born.
Well, I could imagine, because we actually, in our carnival season, we had our opening of carnival on Friday, and the excitement is crazy. I guess people are coming back with a revenge after 2 years of scaled down celebrations. People are really, really excited about what is to come. So I'm sure it's the same thing in Trinidad.
It's the same thing, yeah. It's the same thing. Lots of excitement, lots of good soca songs already. Like a lot of rhythms released. already for Carnival 2K13. 23. That's it, 2K13.
But speaking of music, Jade let the cat out the bag that you are a musical artist. And what I would like is if you just tell our listeners and viewers just a bit about yourself and what is it that you do.
Yeah, no problem. So my real name is actually Marcus BraveBoy. So BraveBoy is actually my real surname.
Oh,
you know?
Wow.
I like that.
I know.
Yeah. And my family is originally from Grenada on my dad's side. So big up the Grenada fam, you know, it's one Caribbean. And I mean, BraveBoy, I've been doing music. My father was in the media as a television producer and television host. And from a very young age, he got me into music, from playing the clarinet to writing and singing calypsos. And then, you know, in the teenage years, everybody wanted to be a DJ. It was the sound system days. So I started experimenting on that. And I couldn't afford to do my own doublets. So I would actually create my own doublets instead of paying artists to do it. And that's how I started getting into chanting, you know. And there's a group from Trinidad and Tobago called Treason. I don't know if you all ever heard of Treason.
Yes.
Yeah, man, y'all
listen, Azam is a musical genius, by the way.
No. I try to follow what's happening around. Definitely.
I never artist look to, you know.
He's not on that side. I mean, actually...
No,
you're not an artist, but he's actually a musician. He has a band and he's a... What else do you do?
I like music.
I like music. We could pass our family.
No, that is true. You might be a part of his band now. We don't know.
Yeah, I might have some family, you know, St. Kitts Stevens. But yeah, so I took some time off to study law. I have an LLB from the University of London.
Interesting.
Okay.
And then I got on the business side of the music industry. And then I relaunched as a solo artist, and I did pretty well in the underground in Trinidad. And then I had some big songs in Trinidad in the hip hop scene. My biggest songs are Nah Boy. If you're from Trinidad, Nah Boy, you know, which is Trinidad slang. Right. And also Pumpin', you know, so Nah Boy, Pumpin', Isa Trini. Those were some popular songs that I had. And then I met a EDM collective from Los Angeles called Bad Royal. And I ended up going on tour with them. So I performed in the EDM circuit. I did a small US tour. I performed at Lollapalooza in Chicago.
Oh, nice.
Which is probably my biggest gig to date. I performed at, in Los Angeles, San Diego, just Chicago. Lots of different parts of the States. And yeah, and here now, the pandemic, I actually had so many plans to travel in 2020, and then the pandemic locked us all down.
Yeah,
so I took the time to kind of network globally and experiment with reggaeton music, Afrobeats music, and just different styles of music. So I've definitely just been trying to find my sound, and I think that I finally found it. And I have a tag, BraveBoy Meets World. You know? Yeah, it's a play on the popular show Boy Meets World, and it's just my journey right now as an artist. I feel like, I'm an artist from the Caribbean, Trinidad and Tobago, but I'm definitely a globally minded Caribbean person.
Right.
And I have my sights set on the global market. Hopefully I could be the next Sean Paul.
Yeah, definitely. And the thing for me is that is the type of mindset that, we encourage even our artists here to have when we have conversations with them, recognizing that the world is really your oyster, all right? And people, good music resonates with people no matter where they're from.
Definitely does.
Right?
Facts.
But in terms of, you did mention a bunch of different influences and experimentation with your music, but how would you describe your sound as it is now in its evolution? And how would you describe your sound?
That's a good question. So I always called my music Raga Fusion because I feel like I always, even if I change the style of music instrumental wise, I feel like that chanting, they call me Mr. Flex and proper bring the fire to the place like that is a Caribbean authentic style. It's almost like Caribbean rapping.
Right.
And I feel like globally they call me a rapper, which I am known as a rapper in Trinidad, but globally they refer to me as a rapper. So they see that as almost like Caribbean rap.
Right.
So Raga, and we know it as Raga, which is big up Bungie Garlin, big up KMC, Ataclan, Rocky. These are artists who really influenced me. Being a teenager in the late 90s. You know, and even I Like to Move It, Who Let the Dogs Out,
right,
Douglas.
Cardinal Official, etc.
Yes, you know the thing, man. Cardinal Official is, I actually met him in Trinidad. He's one of my biggest influences. Busta Rhymes. I'm really influenced by American hip hop as well. I came up watching Rap City and with Big Tigger and 106 and Park, and also I into rock music, I into pop music. I used to listen to like NSYNC, Backstreet Boys, Sugar Ray.
Right.
So I'm a well-rounded artist, influence-wise.
I mean, in the Caribbean, and I know since in some islands in particular, not performing what would be termed as indigenous music sometimes creates a barrier to local support. Right, so if for instance in Trinidad, you're not really doing soca and that thing. Does it feel that way initially, that you had a bit of an extra hurdle to get over to have your music resonate with the population there, or is it just that the population is just so open to music from all genres that they didn't have to have that fight?
I would say that's such a good question. I would say I'll be honest, I had to prove myself. So I started off going in the underground circuits in Trinidad, like opening for soca artists. I'm the only hip hop man in some shows. And everybody watching me like, why, who is this man? Why is he singing hip hop? And it just took a while. Like, honestly, I've put in the work. Like, a lot of people in Trinidad could tell you that they know me from, like just being on the social scene. I used to promote parties. I have my own social media agency. So I'm somebody who's always out and about. But in terms of the musical side, I think I grinded my way up. And after big up Young Rod and Mevon, we created a genre called trap soul music about 6 years ago. And it was like a cross between Atlanta trap music and rap soul and soca. And we were, I must say, like, we had a 4-year run of having like hit songs in Trinidad. So to have a hit song that's not soca in Trinidad, talking about, we were on every radio station. We were, we had gigs all over the place in Trinidad and in Tobago, opening for Shabba, Future, big artists,
Right.
I've experienced that, but to answer your question, initially there was a fight, but you can't fight good vibes and you can't fight good music. And, like, especially the youth, and you always say the streets, once the streets feeling something, I think that, it's inevitable that it will take over the airwaves and everybody will have access to it eventually.
Yeah, it'll find its way. It'll find its way to the ears of the masses once it resonates with a core set of fans. So I definitely understand where you're coming from.
Yeah, and I think just to add, I'm so happy to do this interview, because I always had a goal to, spread out to Trinidad in terms of, because I've done stuff, when I say like globally in other countries, but like on the other side of the world, but the Caribbean is important to me. And I'm so happy to connect with my Caribbean brothers and sisters, like St. Kitts Nevis, like, I just appreciate being able to connect with you all. I've never visited St. Kitts Nevis, and that shouldn't be,
Right.
We should be in the Caribbean. It should be a cheap flight away to go and visit St. Kitts. You go St. Kitts for the weekend, or they come Trinidad for the weekend.
Right.
So, yeah, so hopefully this is the start of more connections.
Yeah, for sure. I think that when artists are looking to move out of their home bases, right? Generally the islands where they reside and that kind of thing, we go to places that has a collective of people from that island. So it becomes like a bridge. And but generally what happens is that ends up being the Americas, the UK, the bigger places where you could find this congregation of persons who share your culture, and you could use that as that bridge. And sometimes it feels even more difficult to get to the places that share more of your culture, the different islands, than to even get to a place like the US and start working. So I'm happy to hear that.
Yeah,
there's a reach out.
Which is interesting. It's just so interesting, and I'm actually intrigued by St. Kitts and Nevis to know what the music scene is like there, what the nightlife is like there, just what the vibe is. Like it's a new place to me, even though it shouldn't be, but I'm still excited.
Right. Well, who knows? This might be the beginning of something new, and we might be walking down the road and see, hey, what up, BraveBoy?
Yeah. No, anything could happen, and with that said, like I'm pounding the ground online, using my networking skills to meet as many people around the world, and I hope to do a tour in 2023. So you might very well see me in St. Kitts Nevis.
Yeah, but I mean,
do this interview in person next time.
Yeah, for sure. And of course, you have music that is out right now that you're promoting. Tell us a bit about your latest releases that's being pushed right now.
Yeah, so my latest song is actually called Big Man Don't Cry, and
That's
it's
a
an
fact.
interesting song.
That's a fact, yeah.
Yeah, it's a breakup song. When last you cry?
When last you cry, friend?
I think it might have been 93, if I'm not mistaken. Big Man Don't Cry, Jade. Yeah, Big Man Don't Cry, Jade.
Bad man don't cry, big man don't cry. But on a serious note though, I was going through a lot over the past 2 years. The pandemic, but also my dad was sick, and he passed away 3 months ago, and it was a very difficult time for me. Especially being a creative, because we never stop. We always on. Even though it was the pandemic, I was releasing music, I was doing interviews, and I could not create. I'm known for doing party music or hype music, and I just could not, for that period of time, go in that space to create fun, happy music. I was in a very, very vulnerable space, and there's a studio I started working with in Trinidad, in Shogunas, Golden Era Production, and the producer, he's a guitarist, he makes a lot of soulful beats. And there's this beat he played, and I was like, bro, I need to go in on that. And I just started to think about, like when you're going through hurt and emotions. And I started to think, as a man, it's almost like you feel weird expressing your emotions in public,
Right.
It's more something in private, You might, if you're close enough to your brethren, you might tell your brethren, boy, this girl break my heart. Or you might tell the girl herself, right? So while penning this song, I actually thought about Big Man Don't Cry, and also the Buju song, Who Said That Big Man Don't Cry?
Right.
And I remembered it, and I was like, this would be a pretty dope tagline for the song. And yeah, and it's honestly doing pretty well in Trinidad. It's on rotation on different stations, both pop stations and urban stations. And it premiered in Kenya, it premiered in Ghana, it premiered in Antigua, it premiered in the UK. And now it's being premiered on St. Kitts Nevis on 98.9 Win FM.
Boom bam.
Vibes.
Boom bam.
Well, guess what? No, I think we should take a listen. We heard about the song, and I'm very interested to hear of what it sounds like. So let's take a listen.
Sounds good.
Made me feel alive, and I miss you here with me. Love of my life, how will I survive if you're not here with me? I opened up my eyes, and to my surprise, caught up in the lies, I was hypnotized. On a smile, that was my disguise. Baby, you were gone, that was my demise. Cause I'm sitting here reminiscing about the times. Girl, I f***ed up and I never saw the signs. I miss you every day. Who say big man don't cry? It's probably for the best, and baby, God knows why. Came into my life, made me feel alive, and I miss you here with me. Love of my life, how will I survive if you're not here with me? Searching through all our messages, all the I love yous and the promises. You with our next man, it is what it is. Cause now all my thoughts turn negative. Cause I'm sitting here just thinking about the times. How could I f*** this up? I guess I wouldn't know why. I miss you every day. Who say big man don't cry? It's probably for the best, and baby, God And I miss you here with me. Love of my life, how will I survive if you're not here with me? Why, oh why, baby, baby, why, oh why? Instead of singing lullaby, you be singing rockabye. Why, oh why, baby, baby, why, oh why? Instead of singing lullabies, you be singing rockabye. Baby, you came into my life, made me feel alive, and I miss you here with me.
Wow, BraveBoy, big man don't cry.
You're trying to hurt some feelings out here, man.
I might have shed a tear or two just now.
Yeah. I see here I start to well up. I was wondering what's happening.
Yeah, Jade, when the music hit you deep, you know what I mean?
See the men on the live, can't him catch himself. Lord, I must see.
The men on the live, see it resonating. The men on the live understand what BraveBoy was talking about.
What happened here? The song was too much for the airwaves.
Zoom and all can deal.
Zoom and all can't catch themselves.
Zoom and all can't catch themselves, Jade.
Lord, is that a Zoom or internet? One of the two of them.
Might be the internet because them comments went crazy just now.
Okay, he back.
Yeah, I'm back. So,
Alright.
what did y'all think about this song?
As in was in here crying and stuff, man. You can't do that. You can't just drop them kind of songs on people.
From the time the first line come in, you came into my life. I done ready to run out in here. You know?
That's where you went wrong, eh?
That's where I went wrong and let it in.
You might message your ex-girlfriend.
Or two.
Yeah, or two, or ex-boyfriend.
Look, do not encourage Jade with these narratives.
Listen, let me tell you something about my friend here, so right? He's a little toxic. So he's about to use this song. He's about to send a broadcast with this song right now.
Yeah, no, the spread is therapy, is healing.
It's just all it is, Jade.
That's not what he's using it for. I can tell you that right now.
Nah, but it's definitely a beautiful song, BraveBoy, and I think if I'm not mistaken, I sense a bit of personal experience coming out in the lyrics, and you could feel it in the song, and I think that makes it very relatable.
Yeah, it's honestly personal experiences, from past relationships, and it's growth as a man. I'm in my 30s now, and it's like as a man in your 30s is different from as a man in your 20s in terms of how you handle relationships and love, and and just being you're trying to be a better person, But
y'all don't bounce back like y'all used to.
Yeah.
No.
It's a whole different energy, and also there's a music video. There's a music video for the song. It's on YouTube. It's starring a beautiful model by the name of Suan Bramble. Mm-hmm. Okay. So big up to Suan, and we made it very realistic. We had to act out being a couple, and you can see it on YouTube on my channel. Just search BraveBoy, Big Man Don't Cry, and it's directed by award-winning filmmaker Michael Mulida. So I had to plug my boy Mikey. He has a film called Green Days by the River. So we gotta get Green Days by the River in St. Kitts Nevis.
Nice. Well, I mean, it's obviously a good song, and I'm happy to hear that there's this the effort being made to really present it in this way with the video and ensuring that you have the right people involved. And I think that there is a real beautiful mix between your singing voice and what you would have termed as your ragga presentation and your rapping. I think that meshes so beautifully, and over the beautiful instrumentation and the lyrics. I think it's just a really good composition, man. Like, kudos to you on this one.
Yeah, some people saying I'm like Caribbean Drake.
Hey.
That's a lot of feelings right there.
That's a lot of feels, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of feels. But I think this is somewhat, I wouldn't say new for me, because I started off writing in a very vulnerable place, like 10 years ago. But in between, I started to make more gal tune, and I think mixing it is nice. You know, as human beings, we have different sides. So you can definitely expect more music from the heart and soul from BraveBoy. But this one is very special, especially with my dad's passing and just being in a emotional place. And it's the first song I've released where I get a lot of messages from people saying, this song made me cry, or this song reminded me of my ex, or thank you. Somebody from Russia messaged me telling me that he's going through a breakup, and this song really is helping him get through it. So, you know, music powerful. You never know where music can reach.
That is true. That is true. Azim, there you go. You have a song now to help heal and mend your broken heart.
The lovely ladies of St. Kitts Stephen.
The scar tissue that exists on my heart, I don't know if it's possible.
Listen to the song enough.
Yeah.
Just play it on repeat.
Play it on repeat.
You're going to start to feel something.
Therapeutic?
Yes, man.
Play it on rotation.
Yeah, you and Carib Pappy talking.
Carib Pappy?
You and Carib Pappy here trying to get me in my feels. Okay, all right.
Carib Pappy is amazing. That is an amazing nickname.
Carib Pappy. I'll take that.
You take your vote, is that?
Have I changed? I say they call me in St. Kitts Stephen, they call me Carib Pappy.
Oh man, but it's really amazing. You know, the song, and of course, if people wanna watch the video, watch your social media, as well as check out any more of your past music, what's the best way for them to keep in contact with what's going on in your career?
No problem. So on Instagram, it's at BraveBoy. That's BraveBoy. And on all other social media platforms, it's at Real BraveBoy. That's RealBraveBoy. And if you want to see all my music videos, all my music, go to solo.to/BraveBoy. That's solo.to/BraveBoy.
All right. Well, I mean, I'm sure there are people who are going to go and check it out now. From the reactions on the live, people do really seem to appreciate your talent and what it is that you've produced. And I'm sure they're gonna go and try and find more of what you have in store for us, and look forward to whatever is next. But I mean, that just mean you gotta come sing it now.
Yeah. We are booking my flight. I come on. Carib Pappy. Carib Pappy live in concert. 98.9 with FM.
Boom bam, I like that.
But if you're ever I don't know if you'll come in Trinidad for Carnival.
I really want to.
Come,
yeah,
just give me a hail. I'll make sure you're all good.
All right, well, that sounds like a plan, Jade.
Like an invite?
That sounds like an invite.
Yeah. It's going to be a big one.
Yeah, it definitely is. I know that people are just really, really excited to be kind of coming back out of COVID. And, of course, performances is a big part of that. So, I mean, even with you, you know, you said you had a lot of stuff booked in 2020. Hopefully, you know, this helps to jumpstart some more of those performances and have you moving around to present your music to even more people sooner rather than later.
And I think I learned a lot, honestly, about this song in terms of there is room for pop music from the Caribbean, or like a Drake style song.
Yeah.
You know, because the response, it has honestly been amazing for this song. I think a lot of people could relate it. And it's not just, it's a global song. Like people from all over the world so far are giving me good feedback. So I'm just trying to push it on my own management, my own everything, my own label. So I just pushing it on the ground as much as I could. So
we love it.
Good vibes.
We love it. And we look forward to seeing what else you come out of the kitchen with. Hopefully another heartbreak song, you know. The men need it. They need songs that could resonate. We have enough.
Well, my next song might be Carib Pappy. The girl them call me
Just be sure to credit my friend
here.
We do a
song together.
I'm looking forward to that song, hotel, yeah?
I know, man.
But BraveBoy, it's been a real pleasure meeting you, talking to you, and of course listening to your music. And I know that you would have gained a few fans today. Of this conversation.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Blessings. I cannot wait to visit St. Kitts Stephen. I mean, it seems like such a beautiful place.
It is.
Yeah, as I said, I really want to connect the Caribbean. I feel like there's no reason for us to not be traveling into Caribbean more. So
yeah,
I
can agree. And the thing is, the music is definitely boundaryless. It definitely resonates, like you said, on a global level. And it's definitely one of the things that helps to foster like just this interrelationships between people from different countries, different backgrounds, religions, etc. So definitely looking forward to you coming and hanging out in St. Kitts, man.
Sounds good. And I'll see you all here. Carnival 2023.
Jade, you got
down for a good old carnival.
Jade is a fetaholic, okay? So so definitely she'll be down for that for sure.
Indeed.
Yeah. Jade, you're playing in Tribe. You're playing in Tribe.
Listen, I'm looking at y'all troops sell off before 2023. So I might be playing on the side.
And you're into Juve?
Our carnival is literally packed with those type of activities. It is currently happening. So we are going full into carnival mode throughout December into early January. Where we
wow.
Yeah. We have Juve, we had road activities, we have fetes and parties and parades and pageants. We have the whole 9 yards, man.
And if I had to listen to artists from St. Kitts Nevis, who would you recommend on
I have several that you can listen to. So
we'll link up and we'll send you some stuff.
I was about to do it now.
Go ahead, give him some names.
I want to tell the people at Trinidad as well, you know. So I will let them know.
Yeah, so y'all have to listen to Byron Messiah.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yes, y'all have to listen to Jedos.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mad Stoney.
Yeah.
Zoo. iMac. Dijon.
And Highlight.
And Highlight.
Mm-hmm.
And then make sure y'all get some band music. So listen.
Band music.
Yes, listen Grandmaster's band.
So we got to send you a link. We send you a playlist.
You said, when there's a cultural exchange here.
Yeah.
Carry come. We want some sponsorship for 98.9 and BraveBoy. You know, cultural exchange.
Yes, trust me, there's a lot of music here that you can listen to. I will definitely send you some. So you can get connected and familiar. And maybe we could see a collaboration come out of that.
I would love that. Big Man Don't Cry remix.
Trust me, I know the exact person.
Oh, yes.
Byron,
Byron.
This is the time to shine.
Byron, link up. Let's do a collab.
Oh my gosh. And Byron actually in Trinidad actually. He spends a lot of times in Trinidad. I think he's signed to Prince Swanee.
He is.
Oh, brilliant. Okay.
Yeah,
Big up Prince Swanee. Prince Swanee is actually, I mean, I can give you a list of Trini artists to listen to as well.
Oh, no, trust me. We up on them, man. We up on them here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big up. Lots of talent in Trinidad.
Yeah, for sure.
And Tobago. Cannot forget to Trinidad and Tobago. Big up Tobago. Tobago is a very special place.
Indeed. But BraveBoy, it's been a pleasure hanging out with you this morning and having you come chill with us and presenting yourself and your music to the sippers right here on Island Tea. Definitely.
Thank you so much.
Yep.
Yes. Blessings.
All right, man. Take care of yourself.
I posted this on my social media today.
For sure,
love,
bro.
Right? Blessings.
Bless.
Easy.
That was good.
Yeah, man.
I think sometimes when you hear, you know, artists and things, you don't always know exactly what to expect.
No, because people
that's a good song, Jay.
Boy, listen, that's
a good song.
Your feels as right in the feels.
So I have to tell you, take off the camera.
Oh, can't let them see you cry, because Big Man
don't cry, Jade.
No, I would you. Can't let them see that side of you.
Big Man don't cry. Yeah. I mean, I cry your time, yeah. Cry your time, and then...
How was it for you?
I didn't really feel good. That's why I never do it again. So, yeah, I cry your time there, man.
Was it your thing? It wasn't up...
Yeah, 93, I tell you. 93.
I got you.
As much as there may have been people in my past who seem as though their goal in life was to make me cry, I didn't.
You have to listen. Dodge them.
I tell you from the first line, I let you into my life, boom, you got wrong.
You done gone wrong.
You got wrong.
You should have never do that.
You're down bad.
Let's go off the radio. Come.
Where that come from, Jade? Where that come from? How is that a thing?
I don't know who.
That's okay. Wait, this is like an international term, or
yes,
this is?
It is an American term. It's many American saying, and the Caribbean likes to adapt some of the slangs of our brethren on that side of the world. So
the education system cannot compare to ours, guys. We need to stop following them. Listen.
The American system, the educational system specifically, boy, I would say come out every day online, like you could tell
They need some work.
That I wasn't paying attention or I wasn't taught by, but somewhere.
Yeah, the
went wrong.
public school system needs some addressing.
Woo, by a lot of y'all was left behind by.
And then these are the people we following.
Like, who is we? who is we, friend?
Oh boy. But yeah, it's been a real cool day hanging out here with the sippers. Whether they joined us on Facebook, YouTube, winmediasken.com, or any of the other digital media platforms.
Indeed.
Big up yourself. Big up all the people who may not be physically in St. Kitts, but always make it a point to log in and hang out with us. Whether you're in Boston, Florida, New York, Houston. There's a lot of places that people been listening to us. And of course, Nevis.
Yeah, definitely have to big up Nevis.
Always.
Yeah.
I just love how Nevis handling this election.
What? Listen, somebody send me some weekends, please.
Oh.
Send me some weekends food.
I eating fish again, so you can link me too.
Oh, look at you. Yes, so there's some lunch from weekends, man. I love us, feed us, so we could come here and entertain y'all daily.
Hey,
the power and strength of the food from Nevis.
Speaking of food going back and forth to Nevis, I mean, and this is outside of the legend that you should never eat fish from a Nevis woman if you come down on the boat and it's still steaming when you reach. This is outside of that.
Good insulation.
Good insulation. That's what I keep telling people.
Yeah.
If there's nothing funny about that.
No, like.
Now, if the eye moving, then you might want to think twice.
Bye. Close your eye and eat it.
You see, you is one.
Can't see it. You know it happening.
You is the reason
Close
why.
your eye and eat it.
You are the reason why people like BraveBoy gotta sing them song. Me? You see what you're encouraging?
Me don't break nobody's heart. Not a heart has been broken by Jade.
Not
one.
Jade, I've spoken to some of these men. I've spoken to some of them.
That's how.
Jade, till now they can't catch themselves, Jade.
They lied. As them they lied to you. I can't believe you fall for that.
Jade, these broken men walking around.
That ain't my fault, as them.
They
need to go touch grass. I gotta talk to the man on the chair.
Is you they blaming?
No, can't be. Why would they blame me?
I said, so.
One minute I'm gonna ex. I have one ex.
I said, so why you look like that?
Shout out to Jaden's dad. That's my only ex.
I said, why you look? What's happening, bro? You look like you're
like
I said, bye, Jade. Yeah. I said,
you
too? You too?
You putting that on the... Whoa. No, I got to get a lawyer. Because you really...
I said, you too?
Blasphemizing me. I see what you're doing here.
You come here for a hug, boy.
It's cause that has been... And you're telling people you're toxic. You're trying to spin it on me.
No, Jade, I'm just...
You're trying to spin it on me. Tomorrow, I'm going to show you what's really going on. Since that's the game we're playing here today, guys.
I'm not playing any games, Jade.
Since that's the road as him wants to trod.
I'm not playing any games.
Game on.
You know what I'm going to do, Jade? You know what I'm going to do?
What?
I'll bring you one for interview.
No, you should.
I'll bring you one for interview.
You should, and I shall do the same. I may not in here could hold them, but we're gonna.
What are you talking about?
May not in here got enough cheers for these kind of interviews.
Jade, I don't know what you're talking about.
But you bring your one, and I gonna bring my set. Let's do this.
Jade, anybody who I have had the pleasure of getting close to over the years has nothing but positive things to say about our interactions.
No, that's not true, Azim. What you lying? Azim,
Jade,
I'm your actual friend.
Jade.
I actually know you.
And
see with my own 4 eyes.
Right, that the fact that there's obviously something that they appreciate. Tell the truth. It don't seem like...
You want me to tell the truth?
No, don't do that.
Oh. I don't know why you're doing this. I don't know why you're doing this. I mean, I could tell the truth if you really want me to tell the truth. I have no problem.
Oh, but guys, it's been a pleasure hanging out with you this morning. And for those of you who joined us on the radio, of course.
Love you.
Love you. Appreciate you.
And I can't see that, but I just did a heart sign.
And we're grateful. We're grateful. And yeah, guys, we really do appreciate, though. We really do appreciate the support.
Of course.
Like, I know I say it daily, but it's not just part of, like, you know, the speech and the end or anything. Like, I really do feel like a real sense of gratitude and appreciation for you guys. And I know Jade feels the exact same way. We get the support daily. Every time I walk out, I'm meeting amazing people who have conversations with me, people that I otherwise may not have met. I would not have had a reason to interact with.
That is
you guys reach out, you guys show support, you guys give criticism, and I really do appreciate it. Really, really do appreciate it. So thank you so much for being a part of what happens here daily. But guys, please remember to learn from the losses of others like BraveBoy. Of course, guys.
Big man don't cry, boy.
Big man don't cry. Big man don't cry, Jaden. Yeah. Of course, guys, spend more time living your content than posting it. And remember, you can't be everybody's cup of tea because you is not a mug. See you guys tomorrow.